Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for our free webinar session today presented by Zetadocs. Today's topic is about finding the right AP automation solutions for your business. We estimate that today's webinar will take up about 30 minutes of your time, including some time at the end for Q&A. Our webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All attendees will receive a follow-up email after the webinar is complete with a link to access the presentation. In the chat, you can also find links to our social media, website, as well as a link to our Calendly, where you can schedule a 30-minute meeting with one of our experts at Sabre to discuss any questions you might have. With that being said, I'd like everybody to submit questions through the question panel or chat during the session, or wait until the end for the Q&A. Please remember to stay muted during the session unless otherwise prompted. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Graham Farker, Marketing Manager, and Summer Sandusky, Account Manager at North America at Zetadocs. Take it away,
Awesome.
Graham and Summer.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this webinar on how to find the right AP automation solution for your business. We are delighted to bring you this webinar. My name is Summer Sandusky. I am the account manager at Zetadocs for the US and Canada, and I'm joined by Graham Farker, who is the Zetadocs marketing manager. If you have any questions about what you see during this webinar, please pop them into the chat and we'll take some time to answer those at the end. So let's get started. Graham, over to you.
Thanks, Summer. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here today. So let's look first at the agenda for this webinar. First, we will explain what we mean by AP automation and the benefits that it offers, and take a look at what AP automation functionality is included in Business Central. Next, we will discuss some of the differentiating features that you should look out for when considering an AP automation solution. Then we'll show you our solution, Zetadocs AP Automation. Then finally, we'll discuss the next steps following this webinar and answer any of the questions that you have. Before we dive into all of that, let me just quickly explain what Zetadocs is. Zetadocs provides effective AP automation, expense management, and document management solutions to over 5,000 customers worldwide. The Zetadocs cloud service archives over 300,000 documents per month to SharePoint Online, and our 4.9 out of 5-star rating on AppSource is a reflection of the usefulness and effectiveness of the Zetadocs product suite. Our AP automation solution can reduce invoice processing times by up to 50%, which is a significant saving. The Zetadocs product suite is designed for use inside Business Central, whether in the cloud or on-premise, with ease of use and simplicity in mind. So AP automation, or accounts payable automation to use the full name, refers to using technology to streamline the process of managing and paying supplier invoices. AP automation aims to improve efficiency, reduce errors, enhance compliance, and save time and resources in the accounts payable process. It can lead to better financial management and help organizations maintain strong supplier relationships by ensuring timely and accurate payments. There are a variety of benefits from automating your AP. Automation plays a pivotal role in enhancing the accuracy of financial processes. By automating tasks such as data entry and invoice matching, organizations significantly mitigate the risk of human errors. This not only ensures the precision of financial transactions, but also minimizes the potential for costly mistakes that can lead to discrepancies, payment delays, or even compliance issues. This leads to dependable financial transactions, which are a key part of stable and reliable accounts payable processes. It enables faster processing. Automation speeds up invoice processing and approval workflows, leading to quicker payments and better management of cash flow. Additionally, it eliminates the common bottlenecks and delays that manual processes often encounter. These can include delays in invoice routing, manual data entries, errors, and inefficiencies in approval workflows. By automating these tasks, organizations can streamline their accounts payable operations and reduce processing times. AP automation reduces manual labor and paper usage, which leads to substantial cost savings. This streamlined approach minimizes processing errors, ensuring financial accuracy and efficiency. Moreover, it prevents late payment fees by facilitating on-time payments while capitalizing on early payment discounts, further enhancing cost effectiveness. One major advantage of implementing AP automation is that it saves the finance team's time, enabling them to dedicate their efforts to creative and value-driven tasks unique to humans, and that ultimately results in an increased job satisfaction. By automating accounts payable processes, employees are relieved from engaging in tedious, repetitive activities like data entry, leading to heightened productivity and greater employee contentment. I'm sure many of you are wondering what AP automation functionality Business Central offers out of the box, ready to go. Well, the answer is that it doesn't offer a full AP automation solution. Microsoft does offer an OCR service that is provided by a company called Tungsten. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition and is a technology that converts printed, handwritten, or typed text into machine-readable text. In other words, it extracts data from a document, such as an invoice, and enters it into another software, such as Business Central. However, this solution offered by Tungsten is an additional cost. It's not included as part of your BC subscription. This OCR solution can be added to Business Central using an integration that Microsoft developed around 10 years ago, and it hasn't really been updated much since. And it's a templates-based solution, which means you'll have to spend time training the software to extract the right data from the invoices you receive. Many of the features of this OCR solution sit outside of Business Central in a separate portal. So for example, the side-by-side view showing the original invoice and the data that has been extracted from the invoice. So given that Business Central does not offer an AP automation solution, you need to turn to third-party add-ons to fulfill this requirement. There are lots available, and several of them will offer similar benefits, and these include a streamlined workflow with more advanced features for invoice capture using AI or OCR, automatic data extraction, automatic three-way PO matching, and complex approval routing. All of this can sit inside of Business Central rather than in separate portals that require you to jump from place to place. A more modern solution where there are no templates to be set up before you can start using the system, and you don't need to spend time training the software to work with the invoices you process. A solution that offers all of this at a lower cost than the basic functionality that is offered in Business Central. Not only this, by purchasing a third-party add-on via a partner such as Sabre, you also benefit from their expertise, experience, and support options. So let's review some features that you should look out for when evaluating which AP automation solution is right for your company. The following are examples of differentiating functionality that separates some solutions from others and offer added value. First, consider the speed of which you'll achieve a return on your investment. Many AP automation solutions take days to implement. This includes the time required to train your system and set up vendor templates. Ideally, you want a system that you can get started with within hours rather than days in order to benefit from immediate time savings. Next generation AI-driven OCR immediately eliminates manual data entry tasks, enabling AP teams to handle larger volumes of invoices in significantly less time. Additionally, the self-learning capabilities of next-generation AI mean that the solution gets faster the more you use it, as it remembers any cross-references that are set between extracted invoice data and Business Central data. For example, once the GL account or item code on a specific invoice line is set, it is always remembered for future use. A solution that integrates seamlessly with your Business Central system means that the effort and cost of implementation will be kept to a minimum, again, helping you to achieve a return on your investment quicker. Next, while all AP automation solutions use some form of document OCR technology to extract invoice data, you can maximize your investment by finding one that uses next-generation AI-driven OCR to capture document data. First-generation document OCR solutions are template-driven. In other words, these tools can only extract data from documents such as invoices once templates for each vendor's invoice layout have been created. This is time-consuming to set up, and it can lead to headaches in the longer term too. If vendors change their invoice formats, AP teams are forced into a continuous cycle of updating templates, significantly reducing the desired efficiency gains. With next-generation AI, data such as vendor name and invoice amount is extracted and automatically entered into Business Central in the form of a purchase invoice. AI automatically recognizes and processes invoice data regardless of format. This saves you time and avoids the risk of human error. I'm sure you or your colleagues in the AP team will be able to relate to a scenario where a payment needs to be approved, but the actual invoice has to be searched for in order to verify the payment going out is correct. This wastes time and causes frustration, both of which don't need to be an issue. It's incredibly convenient to have copies of invoices or other documents related to a particular purchase available at the click of a button from within Business Central. You can take this further by having a copy of the invoice appear side by side with the approval request to help you verify things such as payment amount and therefore approve the payment. There is also less need to go around the business and search for the approving managers or those who made the purchase. Combined, this means that you can make the approval decisions faster. A final feature we'll suggest today is the automatic archiving of documents related to a purchase. Storing all original vendor documents, such as invoices, automatically and securely in a central location, such as SharePoint and Microsoft 365, means that you don't have to spend time creating and updating an archive manually. Documents can also be easily shared within the business if needed, and can be easily retrieved by relevant employees, even if they don't have a Business Central license. An example of where this is helpful is when a vendor speaks to your customer service team with a query about a purchase. Your customer service rep can access all documents relating to that purchase in an archive like SharePoint and doesn't have to ask a member of the finance team to locate and send them the documents. Using an external archive such as SharePoint also means you don't risk bloating your Business Central database, which can be expensive and cause performance issues. Having your documents stored centrally and securely also helps when it comes to audits. You can quickly and easily retrieve documents for scrutiny. Now at this point, I'm going to hand you over to Summer, who will take you through the next slide and then on to the demonstration. Over to you, Summer.
Thank you, Graham. Before we proceed with the demonstration, let's take a moment to explore Zetadocs Capture AP Automation and highlight some specific advantages to look out for. This solution employs advanced document capture technology driven by artificial intelligence to extract data from purchase invoices and seamlessly input it into Business Central. Notably, it requires no setup of vendor templates and becomes more intelligent with increased usage. Zetadocs Capture also automates the matching of line-level data among purchase invoices, purchase orders, and receipts, ensuring that payments are authorized only after the receipt of goods or services. This provides instant visibility into related orders and receipts. Additionally, this solution streamlines your AP approval workflow by presenting file copies of purchase invoices and delivery notes during the approval process within Business Central. The original vendor documents are securely archived on Microsoft 365 SharePoint Online, making them accessible organization-wide. While Zetadocs Capture Essentials and Capture Plus include the AP automation solution, it's important to note that there is a per document processing cost, which is typically 30 cents per document. So I'm going to exit out of this PowerPoint real quick so I can switch my screen over to my demo environment. And before we jump into AP, I am just going to quickly show you our Capture solution because the AP automation is included in the Capture software. So I'm just going to show you real quick that functionality. It won't take us long. But I'm basically going to be showing you how you can use Zetadocs Capture to store and retrieve supporting documents and various records throughout Business Central. Zetadocs Capture fully integrates with Business Central, so you can store documents and view them throughout your posting routine and workflows. So to show you how this works, I'm just going to go to my sales order list page real quick. And once that opens, you'll see over on the right we have our Zetadocs fact box. This is the main Zetadocs feature that we add to the records within Business Central for storing important supporting documents. Some examples of where we could put this are general ledgers, cash receipts journal, ledger entries, jobs, production orders, fixed asset cards, etc. We can put it almost anywhere that you need. So for today, we're going to look at the School of Fine Arts sales order. Over on the left, you'll see we have our sales order, and then again on the right, we have our Zetadocs fact box. Any file type can be added to the fact box, PDF, JPEG, email, Word, Excel, whatever file type you need. And the most popular way to add documents in here is to just drag and drop. So I'll show you how that works quickly. If you have an email with an attachment, or you have an attachment from your network on your desktop, you can just grab it, drag it, drop it right over there into that fact box. Another way to add files to the fact box is, like I said, uploading from your network. If I want to do that, I can just click this up arrow, takes me right out to my network, and I can add a file from there as well. Zetadocs uses record mapping to follow your posting path so that these documents only have to be stored once, and that is, of course, customizable based on your specific workflow. The documents are not stored in Business Central. Using metadata tags, the documents are automatically stored in the Zetadocs library in SharePoint Online, which is our required outside repository. This way, the physical documents are stored outside of Business Central, so it doesn't slow down or bloat your system. And SharePoint is permissions-based, so you can decide who within your company can view certain documents, and employees would not necessarily need a Business Central license or a Zetadocs license to view the files. All right. So that was capture, and now we can just jump right into AP. I'm going to come back out here, and we're going to be focusing on three main areas. So we'll look at the document OCR, which is the system picking up relevant data from the invoice and entering it into Business Central automatically for us. We'll look at order matching, so the matching of invoice lines to the relevant order lines, and of course archiving in the fact box, which we just saw. So I'm going to come out here to my Zetadocs document queue. The queue provides a central place from which all invoices can be processed by users within a finance team. We're going to go up here to our AP document queue. Now there's a few ways that you can add documents into the queue. One way is by going item upload. We can drag and drop just like we just saw, or pick a file from our network if we want to add a file that way. If you want to add multiple files at a time, you can go queue, upload files. It'll take you right out to SharePoint, and you can drag and drop as many files as you want here. Those will get added to the queue that way. The most popular way that most of our customers use it is we can set up a mailbox. If you have an accounts payable email address, any emails with files attached that are sent to that address, those files will then be automatically added into the queue for you, which takes out some of that manual work. So now we're going to process an invoice. We're going to be doing this Wide World Importers invoice today, so I'm just going to click Item, Process. And now what the system is doing as it's loading is pulling key data from the vendor invoice, and it's going to eventually create a purchase invoice using an extraction service from Microsoft called Azure AI Document Intelligence. Now we haven't created the purchase invoice yet. This is the preview purchase invoice screen. We won't create the purchase invoice until we click OK. So notice how the vendor name, the invoice number, the document date, and the item descriptions are all already filled out for us. Items on the invoice lines are actually pulled from the item reference table in Business Central to automatically populate the fields. The system pulls from both the product code and the description line. So as you can see on this invoice, the product code on the invoice is different than the product code in our system, but the descriptions are matching up pretty good, so the system was able to cross-reference that and fill it out for us. Business Central items and GL accounts will be populated automatically if there is a match between the product code and or the description line that is captured on the invoice and that which exists in Business Central. If there is not a match, then the finance person can simply select the item or GL account from the list. Say, for instance, this Amsterdam lamp item number was wrong. I could click this drop down, find the correct item number, and make that quick change. And this cross-reference will then be remembered the next time it is invoiced by this vendor. So any changes made to the amounts, the vendor, the item, or the GL account in Business Central are all remembered by Zetadocs, removing the need to manually look up those values again. And as we mentioned in our presentation, one key advantage of our AP automation solution is that it requires no templates to set up or maintain, whereas other systems require templates to be set up for each vendor, which can be time-consuming and costly. If this invoice was not based off of a PO number, I could simply click OK, and that would create our purchase invoice for us. However, this one is based off a PO, so I'm going to show you how we can go ahead and match these invoice lines to the relevant purchase order lines. So to do that, I'm going to come up to these three dots and just click Match to Order Lines. And then here you'll see up top we have our invoice lines, and down below we have our order lines. Most of these are all highlighted in green, which means we have a full match. You'll see this Amsterdam lamp is actually highlighted in more of a yellowy color, which means it was a partial match. So we do support partial matching. You can see here we ordered 6, we received 4, so that would be a partial match. We also have the amount matched up here, so to make sure that it all matches up correctly, the amount matched matches the subtotal on the invoice. Amount to match is 0, so we're all good to go. So now that we've matched our order lines, I'm going to go ahead and close this. You can see that it automatically added a comment for me referencing our PO number for easy reference. And now I'm ready to create my purchase invoice, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK, so the system can do that for me. In this example, we're creating an unposted invoice and we're automatically receiving any line items on the order that have not been marked as received, but both of those are configurable settings, whether you want to create posted or unposted, whether you want to auto receipt or not. You can choose how you prefer to do that, and it can be set up at a vendor level, or it can be set up globally. That's totally up to you. Now you'll see we have our purchase invoice here. We've got our comment with our purchase order number. And then over here in the fact box, you'll see we have a link to our original vendor invoice for easy reference. So you click on that, it takes you right out to that invoice. You don't have to go searching for it for cross-reference anymore. It's right there for you. All right, and that concludes the demo. Let me switch back over to my presentation real quick. And Graham, I believe that's back to you. Let me make sure I'm on the right slide here. Help me out, Graham. Where were we at? I think it put me on the wrong one.
If you click through this one, it'll be on to the next one.
Okay, perfect. There we go.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Summer. That was a really great demonstration. So before we move on, let's have a look at one of our customer testimonials. As you can see on screen, an AP specialist at one of our customers said, "I love it. Zetadocs speeds up our accounts payable process, especially when we have invoices with multiple lines and pages." So what are the next steps following this webinar? Well, first, we advise you to speak to your account manager at Sabre about your AP requirements. If you like what you've seen from Zetadocs today, you can book a personalized demo. This will provide the opportunity for you to see the full range of features Zetadocs Capture AP Automation offers, tailored to your needs, and provide the chance to ask questions directly. To thank you for your attendance today, we'd like to let you know about a special offer. If you subscribe to Zetadocs AP Automation by Friday, May 30th, you'll receive 250 free document scans to get you started. Lastly, we mentioned earlier that in addition to AP Automation, Zetadocs offers solutions for expense management and document management as well. If you'd like more information on how we can help you in these areas, again, please speak to your account manager at Sabre and let them know. Okay, so at this point, I think it's time to throw it over to the questions. So I'll hand over to Caitlin to take us through them.
Thanks so much, Graham. And thank you so much, Graham and Summer, for that presentation. It was great. Do we have, and feel free to unmute yourself. If you can't unmute yourself, feel free to raise your hand if you guys have any questions. I do see that we have one here from the Q&A. Matt wants to know, can you show how files are structured in the SharePoint Online? Is it just one folder or all of all documents?
Absolutely. I'm happy to show that real quick. Let's see here. Let me move this out of the way. So we actually have, out of the box, we have a 3-folder structure for SharePoint for the capture piece. Let me get out here. So we have it set up, and you can restructure the folders any way you like, but I have it set up like this. So I have my document type as my first folder. So we'll go into sales, and then the next folder is going to be the customer or the vendor. And the third folder is going to be the date. So if I go down here, you can see that document that I dragged and dropped into the fact box is right here in the today's dates folder. You can also restructure the date folders however you like. If you want to do it by month or by year, you know, however you want to do that is totally customizable. And that's out of the box with Capture Essentials. If you want to add any folders to this structure and make it a little bit more intricate, we are able to do that, but that would require a Capture Plus license.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions? And again, feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself or put them into the chat or the Q&A.
There we go. Thank
Oh,
you.
there we go.
Yep. Thanks, Zetadocs, for the demo. Can you just talk a bit more about any compatibility concerns between the SaaS model of Business Central and for any of us that are running on-prem versions?
Yeah, so support is for Business Central 14 or later, and we have customers both on-prem and online, so no issues there.
And same functionality with the product, like the AP automation?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? It looks like I have another question here for you. What types of documents are supported?
We support PDFs, most common image files like PNG or JPEG, and Microsoft Office file formats like Word and Excel as well.
Awesome.
And also you can drag and drop like a whole email into the fact box as well, but I know it kind of gets murky waters when you're talking about the fact box versus the APQ. So that's kind of a double-sided answer, but just throwing it out there.
And then another one here. Can you customize Zetadocs AP Automation?
Yes, Zetadocs extracts a range of data fields from invoices that are commonly needed, but if there are other data fields routinely shown on your vendor invoices, like a job number, for instance, then a customization is possible, but that would need a Capture Plus license.
Awesome. And one more question here. How does Zetadocs learn as you use the software?
So Zetadocs remembers changes made on the preview screen to the mappings between captured data values and Business Central data, so items, GL accounts, and vendors, which saves you time as you don't need to look up or manually look up those values again in the future. The Microsoft Azure AI Document Intelligence surface that Zetadocs uses also keeps improving so that it can better recognize and extract invoice data as you use it.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Do we have any other questions before we wrap up? Take that as a no. Well, if that's all the questions for today, thank you everybody for attending our webinar. I'd also like to thank Graham and Summer again for presenting for us today. Once again, you can find our social media, website, and our Calendly to schedule a 30-minute meeting with one of our experts at Sabre in the chat. I hope you all have a great day, and we hope to see you again at one of our upcoming webinars.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.